Look who's here. Oh, well, first of all, let's check futures. The market's closed, Wall Street's closed today, but futures are active, and there's plenty of red ink to go around. Dow off 300, NASDAQ also down 370. Lou Basenese covering the market for us today. I don't think investors were expecting that these tariffs, investors are rattled. Does it stay this way?
Yeah, a little bit rattled, which is surprising because we've been here before. It's the classic epitome of Yogi Berra. It's deja vu all over again. I mean, the president uses tariff rates and threats as leverage, not policy. We've seen it repeatedly where he wants to get traction on one of his initiatives. Counterparties aren't cooperating. Hey, I'm going to threaten you with a big stick and a tariff. Guess what? It creates urgency. They come to the table. If they don't administer the deadline, he's not afraid to push it, and then we come to a resolution. So I think as an investor, if we see a sell-off tomorrow, it's a great buying opportunity. Every single time we've gotten this taco trade that President Trump's going to chicken out, which it's a bad euphemism for him just actually being a smart negotiator. I think you have to buy the dip. Look for opportunities to really be opportunistic.
I'm told that when the Europeans put just a handful of soldiers into Greenland last week, there was just a couple of hundred, and that was all on a short mission.
Yeah.
Trump was furious about that. He thought they'd been poking him.
Yeah.
So he responds immediately with tariffs. We're going to hit you hard.
Well, look, this is all part of the theater of
negotiation.
It, right? Yeah, right. He's bringing an entourage to Davos, right?
Huge.
Because, he's going to be out front saying the things that might seem outlandish, and then his team is going to be doing the good cop, bad cop routine, negotiating to a settlement. I think, again, a week from now, we won't be worrying about this.
Do you have any doubt that ultimately he'll get Greenland?
If the president wants Greenland, he's going to get Greenland.
Extraordinary, isn't it?
Let young people take some of the money out of the 401k and put it into buying a home. By the way, that home will appreciate in value. Then they can sell the house when they get my age, 65. So I think it works. It's a great idea, actually.
It occurs to me, Lou, that could backfire. Because if you're taking more money and putting it into housing, the price goes up.
Yeah, it could, right? I mean, it's basic economics. If you throw more money at something that has a limited supply, it tends to increase those prices. But I give the president credit here. He is being active and coming up with new ideas, from a 50-year mortgage to banning institutional ownership to allowing 401ks for down payments. The quiet scandal here is 35% of homes about 40 years ago that were made, new homes, were starter homes under 1,400 square feet.
Yeah.
Now it's only about 7%. So the quiet scandal is really that we're not building enough starter homes. It's not just a supply problem. It's the type of supply that we're bringing online.
And you can't turn that around quickly.
No, there's a lot of regulatory red tape you got to cut before that happens.
All right, Lou, stay there. More for you later.
Elon Musk says Tesla's nearly done designing it. They're already working on the next iteration, the AI6, and then they're going to have a new chip every 9 months. Can you imagine a cycle that goes that fast? That could have negative effects, because if you're an owner of a vehicle or a robot and the company is constantly refreshing, you spend all that money on something that feels old after a while.
So that's the concern in the space, that how do you depreciate something that becomes obsolete in 9 months or not the leading edge in 9 months? So it brings in the financial considerations here. But this is on brand for Musk. Yes. Overpromise, maybe underdeliver. So we'll see.
Okay, we'll see. Musk is also suing OpenAI and Microsoft. How much does he want, and why does he want it?
$134 billion, and he wants it because he has this long-standing rift with OpenAI. So here's the deal. Elon Musk provided OpenAI, when he was with the business back in the day, $38 million. That was most of its seed funding. Now he's like, well, you're valued at $500 billion. I want a share of that valuation. How does Microsoft get roped into all of this? Well, they were added to the suit because Musk says Microsoft aided and abetted OpenAI with their investments and their push that OpenAI abandon the nonprofit roots and become a for-profit company. This will go to a jury trial in California in April, and that jury will decide if Musk was defrauded and if OpenAI breached its founding mission.
Well, that could be a real problem, couldn't it? What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, at $134 billion, does he need that much more? But I think it's about the principle. Yeah. It's a very competitive space, so you would expect this. This is another competitive tactic. Sue your potential competitors, slow them down a little bit. This AI race is moving so fast that leadership is changing week by week. So even a slight delay caused in the court system could help out, XAI competitively.
Everybody sues everybody else, and everybody lends money to everybody else.
This is
circular suits and circular financing.
This is personal for Elon Musk because of his relationship with OpenAI Sam Altman.
Absolutely.
Why, they don't like each other? That's a
think that's an
mild shake of the head there. That's what you got.
They go back a long way. Yeah.
Let's change the subject. Let's talk golf.
Yep.
The Professional Golfers Association, that would be the PGA, and Amazon, they're changing the way we view golf. At least that's what the teleprompter says.
Okay.
What are they doing?
I never thought about this, but it's a partnership with AWS. So the viewing public or fans can see every single shot. Do you know how many shots of golf? I don't even know if I'm using the right terminology because I'm not a golf watcher or player. But you know how many shots there are at every competition or tournament? Like over 30,000. There is no way any camera or any commentator can have input on all of that, but AI can. So if you're interested in golf, you can see everything and know about every player, not just the top players, when you are watching.
I just want AI to make my swing better. If it could do that, that would be a great.
It probably can.
I know a lot of golf nuts who will be onto this thing like that. Right. You know. Anyway,
so we like it.
I think it's time we look at the precious metals. I think they're both up this morning. That would be silver and gold. Yes, they're up. Gold's up $78. Silver's back to $93 per ounce. This is Greenland and trade war, isn't it?
Fears of a full-blown U.S.-EU trade war. It's making gold the preferred edge. It's inching towards 4,700. Remember, gold was up 65% last year, best year since 1979. It keeps going, and silver is flirting with its record high, which could be $95. Investors are uneasy about geopolitics.
I was doing a financial show back in the late 70s, early 80s, and when silver went to almost $50 an ounce, that was you based the whole show on that thing.
What was gold at then? Do you remember?
Yes, about $800 an ounce. That was, I think, close to its record. And your whole show would be about gold. Yeah, that was the way it went.
This is the gold bug's golden age, to use a bad pun. But in reality, I think this trade has become a momentum trade as well. It's not just a safe haven, trade war trade. It's also because it's increasing so fast, and it's never been easier to own gold. You can do it through ETFs. It's not just your grandfather's gold where you have to buy bullion and store it somewhere. It's actually very accessible now. So
I remember the Hunt brothers, who made a lot of money out of oil. They tried to corner the market in silver and drove it straight up, and then, of course, it came straight down. Bitcoin, below 93,000 at one stage. 92.8 right now. Again, is this about tariffs?
Well, what do you view Bitcoin as? And today, the past couple of days, it's a risk asset, and that's why the tariffs are pushing the price down. So it's not just any old tariff. It's potential retaliatory tariffs by the EU on the U.S., on our imports that can amount to, what, 110 billion in tariffs. So this crypto sell-off is triggering $230 million in Bitcoin-only liquidations and $815 million in liquidations across cryptocurrencies, so not just Bitcoin.
All right. I think it's time we moved on to Lou and his stock picks. The one he's brought this morning, actually, he's got two. The one he's brought first is Perdocio Education.
Yeah, listen, this is not a very sexy company, but it's one that's growing earnings repeatedly, revenue, beating expectations for 7 quarters in a row, trading at only 13 times earnings. They run 3 different universities, mostly technical trades and focused. So, and they're serving a student population that's over the age of 30. So people that are being very intentional, doing their studies online, hybrid programs to get them back to work in new careers, pays a dividend, doing all the right things, a very undervalued, high-growth name that deserves to be trading higher than it is today. I think it could easily double from here in the next year.
Easily double from here in the next year. You saved the best till last. All right. Astera Labs.
Yeah, everyone loves NVIDIA. Astera Labs operates in the AI chip space, but it doesn't compete with NVIDIA. It connects everything that NVIDIA is doing. So think of, if GPUs are the engine, this is the plumbing that drives everything and connects it all together. This is a fast grower in a great growing market.
All right. Thanks very much, Lou. All right, Lou. Let's get back to Iran for a second. If Trump strikes Iran, what do you think the market does?
This is hard because the last time when Trump struck Iran, I thought oil was going to go north of $100, and it went the absolute other way. So I think it's anyone's guess, but I do think you're going to see geopolitical risk and uncertainty come back in. I do think you'll see oil prices rise. The markets will have a sell-off on that. And again, I think longer term, though, he's destabilizing before he restabilizes. So it's a net positive in the end.
All right, Luke, we'll take it. Thanks.
I have pictures of my fellow and myself, have green and orange paint on my face with a UM hat at Hard Rock Stadium. Right now, like, my loyalty lies to the Hoosiers, and so I know how much it means to both sides. It would be the first national championship in Hoosier history.
And Stuart, security is very tight as President Trump, as well as Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who is a well-known Miami fan as he attended law school here. They're both expected to attend the game tonight.
Dana Marie, we'll take it back. Thank you very much indeed. And Lou, you got to tell me who you got.
I'm a proud University of Florida grad, so I cannot root for Miami. I'll root for Indiana on this one. But I will say this, college football is ruined. The transfer portal has ruined college football. 28 players on this Indiana team were not on the team a year before. There's no loyalty in college sports anymore. I don't love it as a fan.
But this championship game has become really big.
That's a big deal. And
Just
I mean, college football
years.
is a huge business. It generates, billions of dollars in revenue for these schools. But I just think when you can have players transfer a team every year, it just takes away from the sport.
All right, forget football for a second. Talk to me about Netflix. They report tomorrow. What do you want to see?
Look, I want to see strong subscriber growth. That's what's going to really drive this year. They're in the talks, obviously this battle to get Warner Brothers. I don't love the acquisition for them. I think there's strong antitrust concerns here. You're basically, content is king. They're trying to buy the throne and the castle and own the whole algorithm. I think it's very anti-competitive. But for them, the focus on earnings is, are they growing subscribers? Because that's what's going to lead to paying off their debt and then being able to keep growing earnings.
Just look at the report and see if they're growing subscription people. That's it.
Most
That's the whole
important
ball of
metric.
wax.
Yep.
Got it. Thanks, Lou, and thanks for sticking around for the hour.
Always a pleasure.